Hey. Hi everyone. Hi Max. My name is.
Hi.
Hi Shivan.
Happy Monday, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. We will just wait another minute, get more people to get on, and then we'll get started. All right, looks like we have critical mass, so we can go ahead and get started. Looks like we just have our weekly check-ins. So we'll start it off with Amar, PTL updates.
Yeah, nothing much from my end. So mostly, I think the spec, mock-in spec is at a point where we can start executing on at least the bring up of a new gateway type. Yeah, so and probably should have involved Joey as well. So I briefly pinged Boris on if he's able to fund some of the initial development activities. And I think he mentioned that Eugene from his team is going to start looking at this, but they're going to set up an initial prototype internally and then bring that forward once they have more people on their side working on this. So as of now, yeah, the main ask would be to see if FreedomFi can sort of champion the prototyping. We reached out to Highway 9 and Pollen as well to contribute to development, and there have been no responses. That's pretty much it. Yep.
So, Amar, post 1.8 release, it's going to be only the mock-in gateway feature, or do we have anything in the list? Is it only FreedomFi who are going to do the development?
Yeah, I think there's some. So Yogesh should comment, but there's a bunch of stability work, and there's a 5G roadmap that they've published that Wave Labs is going to be working on. But that's more we have stable and, some incremental feature adds. And then obviously there's the whole better engineering work that the TNG and the Radisys teams are embarking on.
Okay.
So from a major feature standpoint, it is the Marken, I would say.
I have a question about 5G support, and sorry if this is not the right place to ask this, but do current roaming interfaces like S6A and S8 work with the 5G stack, and or is there any plan to add support for 5G roaming interfaces?
Yeah, I can take that, but Yogesh, you want to just comment?
Sure. Yeah, Yogesh. So right now, we published a bunch of items to see what is the way community wants to take it. We are yet to receive any feedback. We have some minimum committed target like stabilizing on Dockers. There are 4 or 5 new radios which we are going to try, apart from some stability and compress. Roaming as such is not planned, but we were still waiting for feedback from the community if that has to be prioritized. Amar, you want to add something?
Yeah. No, I was just going to reiterate that, but yeah. So I think the main input there, Joey, is that for 1.9, we're mostly focused on stabilizing what we have right now. And so there, it's just a standalone model where, subscriber DB is Magma provided.
Got it.
Amar, who will be involved in stabilizing activities?
So it's being driven by Yogesh and the Wavelabs team. And they have a list of radios that they're trying to stabilize with as well. That's...
Okay.
Yes. It's there in our roadmap item.
Okay.
Maybe not everything is populated, but yeah, we'll keep it populated. The template placeholder clears the task that it plays.
Okay.
Okay, we will go to the next update, release updates. Govind, Daji.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I would like to actually reiterate what is going in 1.8 release and where we are struggling. Instead of going through this list, we'll definitely go through this list. At a high level, we are focusing on only 2 components as part of this release. One is ARM enablement, and next one is 5G SA features. So towards that, we looked at the 1.7 release notes and release testing documents and trying to cover as much as possible. So based on the checklist from 1.7 release testing, we have identified owners to do different release testing. Towards us, that 4G performance test will be done by Radtronics, and Sujay is the owner. And Wavelabs is doing the 5G performance test. And Magma CI, it's already in place for x86. For ARM, there is nothing in place. So I am doing the manual traffic test, and Tim is helping in enabling the ARM build as part of Magma CI. So it should appear on Magma CI dashboard as part of this release also. So at a high level, these are some of the important components that will be going in 1.8. So basically, when you look at this release notes, so we have updated what features are going in as part of 1.8 from both ARM as well as Wavelabs. And there are we have documented the issues which doesn't have an owner or which will be addressed after 1.8. And there are TerraVM tests related to 4G feature testing, for which we couldn't identify an owner. We have documented that as part of known issues. So the other test results, so it will be mostly updated by Tim, Yogesh, and Sujay from Radtonics. So that's the high-level update. So any questions so far on what is going on 1.8 and where are we? Okay, so I just summarized what we are doing so far. So for the past 2 weeks, we have been pushing the timeline for 1.8 release. Actually, it should have happened last Friday, but we are identifying newer issues, and we are all in the ramp-up phase to understand how to address that issue. So, so currently, we have backported all identified issues from mainline into 1.8 branch. As far as I know, other than the documentation PR from Yogesh and AGW installation script related changes from Shubham, there is no more PR that needs to be merged into 1.8. So those are the two outstanding items. So once those two issues are merged into 1.8, we would like to tag 1.8 and then do one full round of test. What it means is get the Magma CI green for 1.8 and announce a release candidate, and then ask the respective stakeholders to do the feature testing as well as performance testing and add it as part of the release notes. And so those steps are captured by Max, I think, over here as part of the plan. So so currently the blocker items is mostly with Shubham and me. So we try to move the Debian packages from the old Focal CI registry in Magma Artifactory into a newly created 1.8.0 registry. So towards that, there are some OVS related Debian packages, which is common for both x86 and ARM architecture. So I tried to upload the ARM OVS Debian packages into the JFrog Artifactory and overwritten some of the common packages. As a result, it broke the x86 testing for web apps. So we are trying to resolve that issue. So that is the only major blocker for this release. And the next item is related to the Docker installation script. So Shubham is also actively working on this. So after this, we would like to announce a release candidate, and the release testing activities will hopefully start by tomorrow. So the new target date for this release is by Friday. Any questions?
Yeah, Govind, there is a major area that we are missing, that all of our focus is in stabilizing the access gateway testing and deployment part and making sure everything is working, but we are totally missing the orchestrator area. I don't know if somebody is like taking care of deployment and upgrade and testing. Someone is taking ownership of that.
Yeah, so Shubham, so far we are relying only on Magma CI. Other than that, so far we haven't identified any owner for orchestrator or federation gateway. So maybe TNG team can comment, or others can also comment how to address that issue.
Yeah, so some upgrade related testing we have done. I would not say it's very comprehensive, but to some extent, 1.8 orchestrator upgrade, AGW upgrade. So those kind of details are captured in our test logs, but of course, it's not like we tested everything. More primarily, we have focused on 5G, but yeah, we have done some to some extent the upgrade.
Yeah, Yogesh, I mean, what is Shubham's concern is this particular issue, the fluentD logs not getting captured in NMS, for example. This was discovered last minute by Shubham.
Yes.
Right? and we are discovering like this one thing or the other whenever we come up with a timeline, right? So I hope this doesn't happen again before Friday. So who will be the right owners? Are there any takers to own this orchestrator component, NMS component, and Federation Gateway and endorse that? Yeah, this is for this release.
I think that's the wrong call. Or I think let's go through the reporting first, and maybe we can circle back to finding volunteers to continue with that. Maybe I'm interrupting in the wrong moment. Sorry for that. But
yeah, Max, I think we are discussing as part of the 1.8 release blockers. So this point is towards identified as 1.8 release blockers. So do you want to talk after this?
I think it might be good to go through updates once, and after updates we can circle back and talk about release blockers and how to resolve them.
Okay, I thought that will be jumping between the context. It's fine, yeah. So I'm done with the updates.
You might be right, and might be a wrong interrupt from me. Sorry, but felt like that it might be worth to have its own slot.
All right. Yep. Thanks. Yeah, that's it from my side. Yep.
Great. Thank you. Okay, DevOps updates.
Yeah. So Tim and I are mostly working on making the production Artifactory ready. We are updating Docker images, Debian packages, and Helm and Docker. All we are setting all of these things up for production. On side, we are testing if build are working fine, if deployment is working fine. So we are working around release or like all of these areas. That's it. Any question for DevOps?
Yeah. Okay. So when can we? So Shubham, I think it's towards Tim. I think Tim is not here. So so when can we publish the ARM CI results in dashboard? Is it something planned?
So once actually I've not seen if the build is successful or not. We see that okay, in AWS new instances are coming up dynamically. So he's working on that. In CI, I don't know when will that be available. So first let's have a call and see the pipeline. Once we see okay, pipeline is there and our builds are happening, then let's see. Let's talk to him after that.
Okay. I don't know what kind of help we need here. So to fix those issues, is it totally between you and Tim?
It's totally with him. I don't know how he has done it because the efforts are not shared with me.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We have to finalize on this. We can have a call offline to see what is the issue, so that if anybody can help there to resolve it.
Yeah. Plus, this is too much of a hassle managing all those AWS instances. I think someone from TNG suggested that there are already self-hosted runners available. If we can just outsource the ARM development to some other like CI pipeline, if GitHub Actions doesn't provide that out of the box, that will save us cost, engineering power, and maintenance, all of these things. So we can definitely discuss other options, whatever we have.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, those things, I think, yeah, we can have a separate call for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Next, testing. Any updates there?
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So yes. A very quick update on the OAI Magma testing. There's several activity ongoing. There are three main items. We have the 4G Federation integration test. We have a 5G SA tester, and we have CI maintenance. So you can see here a very rough bit for the three main area, and then we from time to time we update and then keep you informed about that. For the 4G federated integration test, now we have the around 24 new test cases, basically for SSS. It's already in CI, and we are working to add more test cases, not only for the SSS, but also for PCIF and OCF test scenario. For the 5G SA tester, we are still in very early phase for that. We still continue brainstorming and prepare for the design and documentation. We officially started the project in the 1st of September. And for the CI maintenance, the OAI team is working with Radisys and the other team to fix some issue, for example, the LTE intake test techniques, and you can see here in the link for the current issue for that. And again, now we have the federated integration test is now in CI dashboards. So that's all from my side. So any question for me?
Yes, and so how have you prioritized ARM enablement in the CI? So these are all adding new test cases, right? And you're also ramping up on the CI. So what is the plan? So I feel at this point of time for 1.8, ARM and x86 are in parity, right? So the OVS Debian packages and binaries are intact with x86, I feel. So we have to make the CI platform neutral. So what initiative is OAI? I mean, do you have any plans to prioritize those activities?
Not really. If you want, we can have a separate meeting with you, and then our expert, CI expert, can discuss with you in more detail about that. For us, the main you see here the CI maintenance, right? So our role is to make CI green. So basically, if we have any problem in CI, we bring the holder and then try to solve as we did for the LTE intake test for the moment.
Okay. Yeah, we should talk about it this for the plans for ARM enablement. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Ruben. Any more questions? So if not, I can stop sharing. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'll pass it over to Lucas for security update.
Hello, good morning. I have no agenda items for today.
Okay, fantastic. Does anyone have any feature development work that they would like to highlight? If not, we can go to C++ migration. Rashmi?
Sure, thank you. Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll share my screen. Yeah, last week me and Prithvi are working on migrating the CPP, and Prithvi was mainly working on the NAS module. The NAS includes the various folders like ESM and EMM. She has completed the ESM folder, and she raised a PR for the EMM. And next thing she would be looking for the IEs folder. And so as per the Shruti's comment, like last week, like we added the target date of completion. Like right now, like we are just taken up the for which task we are working on, that we are put the target date. Because as like sometimes issues comes, we'll be jumping onto fixing the issues. So, and I was working on the porting the inode structure from the C structure to protobuf structure, that is completed. But when I was looking into porting the S1EP and dead state itself, there we got an issue like in the existing structure or in the map, we have the point to enode context. But when you port to the protobuf structure, it doesn't support the pointer. So as the number of enode bits increases, there'll be increase in the memory. So it need to be discussed So I just halted this activity and picked up the SP gateway, the hash list conversion. Yeah, so here the SP gateway hash list conversion. So as we include that one, let any of the CPP specific files like a map, right? It was resulting into huge errors. So I just raised a separate PR for that one. And again, I'm looking back to the porting this one of the structures in the SP gateway module. Yeah, that's all from us. Any questions?
Thank you, Ashmi.
Thank you.
Next, pass it to Nils for BAZEL effort.
Yep, sure. Hello, everybody. Let me quickly share my screen. So, again, the BAZEL roadmap, the three big parts: building with BAZEL, testing, and the developer experience. Green star, what we are currently working on in the current iteration. So for building Debian, Magma Debian package with BAZEL, the first throw of this is currently in review, so there's some progress. For the Docker build, this iteration, we are planning to having a look to use the rules Docker for Red Hat UBIs, if they can be easily generated with this, but this is only an evaluation and not something that is implemented until further discussion. For testing, currently we are working on to execute the integration test with BAZEL. We are already executing them versus services that are built with BAZEL, and also having a look in the same direction to execute the pipeline D-Serial test with BAZEL. Additionally, we have an analysis task for coverage generation, but here we first need to have an understanding what is happening with Make and what we want to migrate to BAZEL. Yeah, and as a side note, currently we have a lot of release support, so just as an FYI in this place. That's it with the BAZEL update. Are there any questions? 3, 2, 1, then I would be finished. Thank you.
Thanks, Nils. Okay, data path. Nick, Yogesh, any updates?
No, with someone said,
Okay. And then lastly, roadmap update. Max?
No updates from my side.
No updates? All right. So that brings us to the end. One last thing.
That brings us, that circles us back to release thing, right? The releasing topic that I pushed to the end.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we take just a couple of minutes. So Max,
go for it.
Yeah. So, so the issue raised by Shubham is the orchestrator component and federation gateway component. They are mostly we are relying on the Magma CI, but it doesn't cover fully. We feel based on the fluent D log issue that Shubham reported last week. So it will be good to have a dedicated owner for those two components to endorse for every release.
Mm-hmm. Maybe someone from the community that is deploying Orchestrator and is used to do that, and also wants in the same time check that the upgrade to 1.8 is working. So
yeah, Max, I have worked on this area deployment and upgrade, but right now I'm occupied with the access gateway deployment and testing. So in time, I think I can cover both of these areas. If anyone can like take up the access gateway testing, then yeah, I can start working on the orchestrator side.
I was wondering if someone from the community that deploys Orchestrator with Access Gateway would want to do release testing. If there's someone in the room. maybe.
So Yogesh, you mentioned that you're doing it for 5G, right? With all these components.
Yeah, but very specific to 5G and 5G areas. Yeah, it's not comprehensive.
I mean, 5G or 4G, does it matter actually here? This is more about the sanity of orchestrator and federation gateway, logs and those kind of things, right? Please correct me.
We are not covering federation gateway. Logs, yeah, meaning to some extent, but not to full extent. Yeah, that's what I would say. There is our focus is more specific to 5G, and we just want to make sure that all upgrades goes fine. But the deep testing we don't go. Of course, we have upgrade specific sections, but that's primarily related to 5G configuration, 5G information logs.
So Shubham, for AGW, what kind of help you need? I can do the testing on the Debian test. So apart from that, can you highlight the issue where you need help? I can do the testing on ARM, like how we used to do. And Yogesh is also running a sanity test with containerized image. So is it enough to run those tests on x86 and ARM, or do you expect more?
So those tests will be enough. So we have to do deployment, then like if Docker repository are working fine, if we are able to attach our access gateway with the orchestrator, and if let's say Fluentd logs are not working, then we have to check the logs, fix the bug, and check the differences what was there in the 1.7, 1.7, and all these things comes under access gateway testing.
But if we are resolving that between Shubham, Yogesh, Govind, and us, we can also do that in a smaller round. And that does not need the whole call to participate. Or is there still something we need from the big round?
I think Shubham's ask is more than just doing the traffic test, right? It's about managing the Magma artifactory and tagging it right, those kind of things.
Yes.
So I think Max is saying that if wider community can also jump in and help us do all these tests, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we are just talking between us in the small round, we don't need to have the big round here. So we should focus on discussions that involve the wider community or the persons we usually do not meet in releasing meetings. Maybe, Govind, you could also ask for help in the dev channel.
Yeah, Shubham, I think you and me can go and ask for help in the dev channel, so you know the issue better. Right. So please tell me, I can assist you. So
I've already started a conversation on this in Magma release channel, so we can take it from there.
Okay. So if there are no takers, then we have to fix this Fluentd log issue before the release, right? You will be taking up only after fixing the AGW component, right? If there are no takers, the release will get postponed further, assuming you will fix the Fluentd issue.
Yeah, Fluentd I'm still checking because I'm not aware with the access gateway component. But let's see if I'm able to fix it. But yeah, we can definitely keep on posting the error logs in the community if someone has already worked around that, so we can get it fixed quicker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And thanks. And then the next item is about owning the package, Debian package upload in the Magma artifactory. So Max, I'm not the right person to upload it. So I worked with Meta folks and uploaded the packages in Focal CI. And I did the same thing with 1.8. So you figured out that metadata is an issue. So going forward, who will be owning this kind of uploading the artifacts into the Magma artifactory. So from ARM point of view, I can give the artifacts, but uploading and tagging with right metadata, who is the owner for that?
I think that can be owned by CI code owners. And that's again a topic that we could discuss in a small round where we don't need the whole TSC call. And okay. But yeah, I think Tim and CI code owners can own that. I think Niels has some experience with corresponding tooling and might be good suited to support here, but we will discuss that offline, I would say. Okay. Any other topics from you, Govind?
Nothing else, Max. Yeah.
Okay, Kendall?
Okay, great. The last thing I had on here was that next Monday, September 5th, is a US holiday. So I know a lot of people will not be working. So I was wondering if we wanted to go ahead and cancel next week's or move it to a different time in the week.
Yeah, it's a holiday for us, so I won't be able to attend.
So should we go ahead and cancel or move it to a different day?
Canceling feels fine.
Yeah, it's fine with
this
me.
meeting also just took half an hour.
Okay, that's we'll I can cancel and then reconvene in 2 weeks. Cool. That's all I had. Are there any other topics that people would like to bring up?
Yeah, but I would like to update in the TSC Slack channel about the release progress, so we can do that.
Yeah, and another thing, one outreach update we have that in December month, we are actually planning Open Infra Cloud Native and Magma India days in I think New Delhi will be the event. So Open Infra is taking lead in the entire event. So we will have more updates in a week's time. So I'll update them. But I'm letting you know that this effort is going on. Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Shubham. Anything else? Okay, we can go ahead and end early. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.